All right, everyone, welcome to Trade Findings and Adjustments for Tuesday, August 13th. We just had a nice up day. I don't know if the president's trying to save face. He was trying to make it easier on China, but the short and the skinny of it was, let's delay some tariffs through December. That is an amazing olive branch to get something started in September and finished by the end of the year. So the olive branch, can't spell, was delayed tariffs on most Christmas bought items until end of December. Bill said he's preparing for 2020. I agree. I love the comment. Dang if we aren't in a tweet-driven market. I agree 100%. So, as I'm looking forward, I'm looking to, in all honesty, I'm looking at Baidu and how cheap it is. If you were going to say number one trade to be in right now, was orders filled today that you can still get into at June 2020 135s. It's a cheap trade. If I was going to do a trade, let's do a cheap trade today. Baidu has its earnings on its 19th. If you don't want to spend a lot of money, you could go out to a June 135. Of course, it has no dollar figure with it right now. But you could go out to a June 135 for roughly $3.60. Maybe you don't want to do as many orders. Maybe you can just do two. But to preview two orders, leap long calls, plenty of time, not short-ended like I was before. Ridiculous upside. I don't like that chart though, but that's because they can't figure out their stuff. If we moved it to a 140, you'd see it a little bit better. A lot of upside, a lot of room. I might have to fix this tomorrow morning. So my first one would definitely be an earnings event coming up in the near future. $360, $375 Baidu. The reason why comes down to their chart. I'm going to put it out to a 3-year. And if I open it up, not a 3-day, not a 3-month, 2-year. 2-year does it for me. 250, 200, 175. I'm putting it in no man's land. I want 135. Might stop at 120, but either way, that's okay. To give you an idea, and again, I just put it in today to dollar cost average some positions I'm in. If we were to look at Baidu, I hate that they don't have after hours stuff. That's where I'm looking at. A Delta, $113. I think I've got 3 contracts. So Baidu, I've got 5 contracts. So 5 contracts, $113 divided by 500, a delta of 0.22. For every dollar up, you're going to make 22 cents. It's really a 22.6. For every dollar up, a 22.6 delta is where I would be. Abraham, there's no sign it'll go up soon. Why not wait and get some confirmation before going into the trade? Well, if you get some confirmation, it'll probably be up at 120 overnight. So I'm giving it time for it to work. I'm going out to June. If I'm wrong, it'll go down to 185. And if it goes down to 185, I'll dollar cost average again. You could do, if you wanted to, you could switch this around just a little bit. I would also think you could go out to a June 120 and added June 120 and for $3.40, in fact, I actually like this one better. To put a limit in at 350, you could give yourself some protection. So another opportunity would be looking at a spread trade, a long-term spread trade where if you're wrong, you've got one risk for every 4.7 rewards, and you have a position that you could take off for most of the credit if you wanted to. In fact, this one looks a lot like my Facebook right now. I've got a Facebook vertical where my $9.73 is down to $5.22. That's $4.51. I'm about ready to take that one off, book that profit, and see if things just can't go higher. In fact, another idea, I am really tempted to close this one. $5.22. I'd really be tempted to close that one. And then buy the June 250. The dollar cost of my other one right there. That wouldn't be a bad idea either. Where for all intents and purposes, I am booking my profit here to put it into dollar cost averaging right here. Another adjustment opportunity. But I tell you, I really like where our market could head to. Now, with this said, I am still worried about October. October might not look so good for some positions. So I wouldn't mind booking some profit between now and October as well. Boy, I really feel better if Facebook gets above 190. 200 is where that one's going to go again. So again, we've talked about it in the past. I'd be looking to do a Baidu trade today for earnings coming up on the 19th. If it gets up to 100, you could get out of your trade with 50, 60 cents of profit, more like 50. Maybe volatility gets you out of 60 cents per profit at 360 divided, let's do 60 divided by 360. You could exit at a 16.66% return before earnings when volatility would be the highest. Kind of like that idea. Texas Instruments. Gap on the earnings came back down. I wonder if it's going to fill the gap. It's a semiconductor that's caught up in a hype. Could we get out before Labor Day? $3. I also like this one too. A short-term spread trade, a bull call, doing nothing more than following the fact that these guys should not be hurt by the China deal. Them trying to get back to their filling the gap to the upside. They filled the gap down, now going back to those highs. The highs on the chart should have been 35, I thought. 135, excuse me. Just had good earnings, had a gap up. $127.50. It's also jumping the gun on this one. You don't have your MACD crossovers. You don't have your 5 and 20. Kind of touched 125 and bounced off of it. But I like it. I like the semiconductor Texas Instruments only because of its earnings, only because of the pop. That's where I think it should go back up to. So you could also do a Texas Instruments, relatively cheap. Getting in at 620. Only 2 contracts, 310. Getting in at 620. And taking advantage of, again, nothing more than what we were looking at and where we were going. Seems like we're going to go up. Seems like we're cutting down on some of the trade agreements. Some of the worry about it, excuse me. Another nice opportunity with the semiconductor on Texas Instruments. So that's where I would be going to. Abraham, you talked me into a 120, 140. A 120, 140 Baidu trade. So let's put these in here so you guys can see them. I really like, come on. I really like leap long calls on Baidu. It's cheap. You could do it on your own. A spread trade with a adjusting short call for a long-term bull call would be come on. Would be, I'd be doing, let me get it up here. Here we go. Pretty sure it was this one, right? There you go. You could do one for the same price at the 350. We'll just be finishing up here. I'm going to finish up early today. But there you go. You got your 350 one to go to. It's not a bad spread trade. Opportunity here to have an adjusting side to it. And then obviously Texas Instruments I do also like. I think that could also be a pretty good one. I know someone's typed a question in. Give me a quick second just to get these put in here so you guys have a chance to look at them before I trash them. Come on, computer. And I believe this was our Texas Instruments one. All right, let's go back to the questions. I took a look, better bet at the 120, 140. Yeah, it gives you an adjusting side. The question was asked to me, Kevin, why are you doing so many leaps? And again, the honest answer is I've done so many leaps because we've been in a ridiculously bullish market. So it hasn't really worked for me on Bank of America, but it's worked for me on Disney. We've taken profits on them. It's worked for me on Ford. We've taken profits on them. It's worked for me on Facebook. We've taken some profits on it. It's worked for me for Visa. We've taken some profits on it. And now, in all honesty, I am back into it for the no Parker. I've got quite a few leaps on Baidu. We've got a call vertical. We have a September 19. Those probably go by the wayside. 60 protective puts on stock ownership. 65 June 20 leap long calls. I like where that can go to. Visa. I've got some protective puts, but we have sitting here some January 21 170s, January 21 200s, a bunch of January 21 200s here, some 210s, excuse me, some covered calls are going to book a profit. I'm just converting that into the leaps. We've got 2,400 shares still moving. Cost base of these down at 128. Under Armour, 20 is the line in the sand. I've done okay on some of these, but short answer is we have some protective puts I will take off when we get above 20. I know it'll probably be for just a bit of a loss or a break even, but we did so good. We added so many shares here recently, 200 to 300 for most people that had Under Armour. Kind of an awesome position to be in, to have a drop from our 2750 puts all the way down to 2044 and to be able to pick up a bunch of shares on Under Armour. So I think we're looking good. We're looking good for the next week until we get another bad tweet and until we find out issues on China. But those would be my trades. Texas Instrument, Baidu, long-term bull call, 120, 140, gives you an adjusting position for earnings on the 19th. Guys, appreciate you being here today. Thank you very much. These are some opportunities that we can be putting in your own accounts. I look forward to seeing you next Monday. And guys, have a wonderful evening. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.